We got top 30 anime fights of the century so far. This one's by WatchMojo. WatchMojo, look, you're 0 for 2 when it comes to anime videos, at least the ones that I've seen. You got this can't, like, you can't mess up. You can't mess this up, WatchMojo. Like, top 30 anime fights? Like, come on, bro. If I see something in the top 10 that doesn't belong there, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 30 anime fight scenes of the 21st century thus far.
Oh, brother, see. Let me just. If you probably don't know this, but the fact that we just seen Rock Lee and Gara right here means that it's not gonna be on this list. That's what it means, which is crazy.
Number 30, Natsu vs Sting and Rogue.
It's not the same anymore for you, man.
The Grand Magic Games in this show has plenty of exciting...
But I've never seen this fight in my list. I've never seen this fight in my life, and this is top 30. This is top 30 of anime fights of the century.
Fights. Indeed, this one begins as a 2 vs 2 with Gajeel and Natsu matched against their fellow Dragon Slayers from the Sabertooth Guild, Sting and Rogue. However, to get back at their cocky opponents, Natsu sends Gajeel off alone and decides to solo the duo himself. Despite Sting and Rogue entering the powerful Dragon Force states and throwing their most powerful combo attacks at him, Natsu easily overcomes it all. After seeing Sabertooth look down on Fairy Tail, watching Natsu flex all over 2 of their strongest fighters for minutes is incredibly satisfying. Number 29, Boshi vs. Boss.
This is going to be a long video.
Boshi is the adorable prince protagonist of this show. Initially, his deaf/mute status had few people believing in him. However, by the time his literal giant dad Boss has possessed his brother Daida, everyone is behind Boji. When Boss's former retainers refuse to follow him, Boji fights to protect them.
They always mad at Bleach.
Faced with the image of his titanic father, the young prince dodges his immensely powerful blows,
Number 29,
all while whittling down his club until it's mere splinters. The incredibly fluid animation, as well as Boji triumphing against all odds, makes this a stirring and exciting, if rather short, fight. Number 28, Dai vs. Vern. Dragon Quest.
Alright, bro. Come on. Come on. Are we serious? I'm like top 30 anime fights of the century, and I've literally seen 3 anime fights that I've never seen in my life. What are we doing? Like, I'm not saying these are bad fights, but we only got 30 slots, bro. There's no way that these are the animes that I'm seeing already.
The Adventure of Dai. As the final conflict of Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai, Dai and Vern's confrontation has the weight of the entire series behind it. The young hero and the Dark King's clash spans multiple episodes and sees both combatants go through multiple power-ups, use several ultimate moves, and their combat even takes them to outer space. Finally, Dai uses his sword to slice Vern in 2, defeating the villain and triumphing at what he set out to do. It's a classic shonen final battle, and it's executed nearly to perfection. Number 27, Eva 01 vs. Zeruel. Evangelion 2.0, you can not advance. When Rei is consumed by the titanic angel Zeruel, Shinji decides to be brave for a change
Are we
and
trolling?
rushes to defeat the angel and rescue her.
Are we trolling?
Despite his impressive resolve and some even more impressive animation, Shinji's Eva unit runs out of power, at least until the enormous mecha responds to Shinji's anger and goes berserk. It manages to overpower the angel, allowing Shinji to reach inside to rescue Rei. And sure, the result of the fight may be the apocalyptic third impact, potentially dooming the world, but hey, at least it was a cool fight.
Banger song.
Number 26, Berkuli vs. Vector, Sword Art Online Alicization. Turns
Bro,
out
this isn't even the best elucidation fight, bruh. What are we doing? Like, this isn't even the best SAO fight.
even without the OP hero, SAO can deliver a pretty awesome fight. Berkuli chases down Emperor Vector on Dragonback. After cutting down Vector's ride, he engages him in a furious duel.
So we're trolling. This is a troll video.
Even losing an arm isn't enough to stop the Integrity Knight. However, Vector's ability to hold Berkuli in place proves overwhelming.
何か狙っているな
Oh my god.
The grizzled badass's
I
only
forgot about that
chance is to
sound
use
design.
his sword, which can cut the past, to end Vector before the fight even began. The hero may meet his end here,
Oh my God.
but this electrifying fight is one hell of a send-off.
来てやったぜお前の過去
Bro, people haven't even seen Elucidation too. That's crazy. This isn't even the best fight in Elucidation, bro. That hoe is so good. Like, it's beautiful. Top 30 is crazy.
Number 25, Reg, Rico, and Nanachi vs. Bondrude. Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul. This franchise is a strange mix of nightmare fuel and enchanting adventure, and this fight exemplifies that perfectly. Young adventurers Reg, Rico, and Nanachi face off against the vile, despicable, well, we don't have enough words to describe how terrible Bondrude is.
I mean, I've yet to see a good anime on this list so far. I've yet to see a good fight that I feel like deserves to be on
Dude
here.
shields himself from the abyss with children, including his own daughter. Thankfully, as Reg holds off the gradually mutating Bondrude with his incinerator, Rico and Nanachi devise a scheme to defeat the creep. The soaring score, rapid movements, and one of anime's most hateable villains getting blown in half help make this a fight we love deep in our soul.
喧嘩はダメだよ
Number 24, Araragi vs. Kiss Shots. Kizumonogatari, Part 3, Reikets.
でくれ我が主人
死ぬがよい我が重木
In terms of pure insanity, few fights can match this one. Koyomi Araragi faces his vampiric sire, Kiss Shot Acerola Orion Heart and a Blade, in the hopes of stopping her, and therefore him, from feeding on any people. The pair of them can regenerate from any wounds, so the fight is violent to an absurd degree, with heads being blown off, torsos reattaching backwards, and all manner of ridiculous bloody action. It's completely bonkers throughout, but the animators go for broke. Number 23, Shinra vs. Sho.
okay.
Fire Force.
We finally get it
Brothers often
somewhere.
fight each other in anime or otherwise, but Shinra's attempt to reconnect with his brainwashed little bro is unlike
I don't know
any
if this
battle
is top
between
30 though.
siblings.
I don't know if this is top 30.
Sho's ability to stop time allows him to effectively beat the stuffing, though not the smile, out of Shinra. Shinra's attempts to go faster ultimately take him past the speed of light, effectively letting him catch up to Sho's time stop or surpass it. He can't keep it up for long though.
I feel like there's better Fire Force fights.
Thankfully, some shared memories leave Sho and us in tears. Full of emotion and blinding speed, this battle of brothers gives us the feels like a sword through the chest.
Yeah,
Too soon?
these just aren't the best fights of the century.
Number 22, Ryuko vs Satsuki. Kill la kill.
Like, these are solid
Way
fights,
before
but
these
we're talking
sisters were
about
battling it out against their mother.
of the century.
They were trying to hack each other to pieces. Both armed with their respective kamui, Ryuko and Satsuki ditch their embarrassment and break out their blades for a showdown that could only come from the minds of Trigger, each ripping up the academy as their life fiber synchronization continues to expand. Combine it with its booming soundtrack and this mini calamity is a delight to watch, especially as Ryuko comes into her groove and holds her own against Satsuki.
Number 21, Mob vs Suzuki, Mob Psycho 100. This series is loaded with jaw-dropping, well-animated fights.
Okay, so
however, the climax...
this, look me in my eyes. Look at me when I say this. This better not be the only Mob Psycho fight on this list. Because if it is, I'm about to crash out. If this is the only Mob Psycho fight on this list, we are about to have a problem. Because I don't even think this is like top 3 Mob Psycho fights.
Battle of Season 2 is our pick. Mob faces off against Suzuki, head of an organization of psychics hell-bent on world domination. Mob, the empathetic cinnamon bun that he is, tries to change Suzuki's mind to no avail. The two powerful psychics fly above their city, blowing through each other's barriers and even using skyscrapers like projectiles. However, as Suzuki's power increases, it becomes too much for him to handle. Mob makes a sacrifice play, though the result is less explosive, as it is vegetative. Regardless, this is Mob going all out to fight on for his friends, and we love it. Number 20, Baki vs Yujiro, Baki Hanma. There are father-son fights, and then there's this. Nearly the entire Baki franchise builds...
I just want you guys to know, we are in the top 20 anime fights of the century. This is supposed to be top 20 anime fights of the century. Right now, starting from here.
To this moment, and it doesn't disappoint. A simple dinner between Baki and Yujiro escalates into an epic brawl. The restaurant is half destroyed, cars are totaled, and it's all witnessed by a crowd of people, including a caveman and a ghost. Father and son throw every punch, kick, and crazy technique they can at their own flesh and blood. The last of these include Baki imitating a triceratops and wetting his pants, and Yujiro treating his son like nunchucks. It's at once a knockdown brawl full of resentment and a moment of understanding between father and son. Plus, it's topped with a bowl of imaginary soup. Baki is so gloriously weird. Number 19, Everyone vs. Father.
19?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
He went from dwarf in the flask all the way to the being that swallowed the embodiment
Okay,
of
we
God.
might be
with all
talking.
the perks that come with
I
it.
feel like this is kind of solid. 19.
While his newfound immortality was instantly nerfed by the Elric boys, the father of the
This is a
homunculus
elite fight.
was still very much a threat, one capable of being able to hold his own against all of Central and pretty much every one of Ed's allies. It took the sacrifices of both Alphonse and greed to give Ed the chance he needed to go all out and smash apart Father's physical body before cracking his Philosopher's Stone and sending the sinful blob back into the jaws of the Gate of Truth.
This definitely isn't the best fight in the show, so...
Number 18, Escanor vs. Estarossa, the 7 Deadly Sins.
Just in case the Lion Sin of Pride's introduction left you in any doubts that Escanor is the MVP of the fantasy anime scene, then this battle against the Ten Commandments all but cements it.
あの人なんで一人だけ動けんだよあの人は7つの大罪最強の男
Despite Estarossa being able to heal himself with darkness, immobilize anyone who feels any kind of hatred towards him, and is capable of reflecting any physical attack back at his foe with twice the force, he still falls under the magnificence of Escanor's unshakable belief in himself, and as such gets a miniature sun right to the face.
Number 17, Kamogawa vs. Anderson, Hajime no Ippo.
Ippo and Takamura may have their shining moments as boxers, but even their triumphs
This
pale
list
in
is
comparison to the
absolutely
unrelenting
absurd so
brutality
far.
of their mentor.
This might be the worst top 30 I've seen, and we're only halfway through. Like, I kid you not, these first 16 or 14, wherever we're at, they just don't even make sense for this list. Like, I feel like the title of this video is wrong with the anime that he's putting up here.
In his youth, was forced to battle it out in the ring with a prejudiced American soldier who had every intention of adding a little fatality to his victory.
They can't. They absolutely can't.
In response, Kamogawa trained his fists to the point of permanent damage, but in doing so, allowed him to deliver punches of such magnitude that he didn't so much break Anderson's body as he did shatter his spirit with only 2 blows. It's so visceral that it's almost beautiful.
Number 16, Yuji vs. Chozo.
Okay.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Wait.
This series...
Do we think that this is the best JJK fight? Because 16? So do we got 2 JJK fights in the top 15? I mean, top 16?
has a lot of fantastic fights, but we'd argue that Yuji Itadori's fight against Chozo is its very best, so...
Let me run that back. Let me run that back so y'all can hear it.
Jujutsu Kaisen. This series has a lot of fantastic fights, but we'd argue that Yuji Itadori's fight against Chozo is its very best so far.
Do we think that this is the very best fight out of JJK? Do we think that? Do we think that this is the best fight out of JJK? Like, I'm genuinely asking. Do you guys think that this is the best fight out of JJK? Because I know I don't. I don't think this is the best fight out of JJK. But maybe, like, I just got a weird opinion. Maybe how I see anime fights are a little bit different. This is crazy. Best fight out of JJK?
Chozo is determined to get revenge on Yuji for killing his brothers and confronts the protagonist in a subway station.
Like, it's top 3.
The hero has trouble with Chozo's long-range blood projectiles and so lures him into a nearby bathroom. The sprinkler-soaked bathroom brings the action back to hand. The intense close-quarters contest pushes the choreography and animation to their absolute limits. Yuji may not win the fight, but the battle itself is a victory for anyone watching it. Number 15, Demon Slayers vs. Daki and Gyutaro. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Tanjiro and his fellow Demon Slayers' mission to defeat the upper-ranked demon in the entertainment district is complicated when it turns out to not be one demon, but 2 siblings.
I don't know. I don't think this fight is better than the. I don't think this fight is better than the JJK fight. I don't even think this is the best fight out of Demon Slayer.
The protracted battle between them all is filled with standout moments. Everyone gets their moment to shine, from Zenitsu's Godspeed, to Nezuko going berserk, to Uzui's flashy comeback, to the final epic strike that ends Daki and Gyutaro for good.
It's a great fight, though. Great, good fight. It deserves to be on the top 15.
Rapid fire attacks and movement that takes them from the rooftops
Maybe
to
top
the
20.
streets and back again. This jaw-dropping, beautiful fight goes all out and leaves us breathless. Number 14, Kiritsugu vs Kotomine. Fate Zero.
One is a hired gun who will kill anyone if it means becoming a champion of justice. And
This is a
freeing
top
the world
15
from
fight. This is a top
conflict.
15 fight.
The other is a lethal executioner who will kill everyone just for the chance of finding a new purpose in life. Put them in the same room together, and what do you get? A battle of such intensity that it puts all servants and their noble phantasms to shame. Between Kiritsugu's accelerated reaction time and gunplay, trading blows against Kotomine's infinite supply of blades and inhuman reflexes, it's a miracle either one of them.
They must copyright the mess out that fight, because he didn't show a single fight scene out that fight. Oh, hold on. Hey, he didn't.
Number
They must
13,
copyright that.
Asta and Yuno vs Licht. Black Clover.
In spite of all the magic knights, elves, and devils, there's only one.
Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I love Black Clover. I got the poster on my wall, bro. I got it on my wall. But we seriously think that this fight is better than... We think that this fight... No, it's not a boo. It's a good fight. But we think that this fight is better than JJK? This fight is not better than the Jujutsu Kaisen fight.
One aerial assault that continues to hover above the rest as one of the greatest magical battles of the series, if not the genre. And wouldn't you know it, it features both Asta and Yuno working in tandem. As the body of the half-awakened Licht goes on the attack, it falls to the Clover Kingdom's most iconic rivals to push him back. Yuno with his spirit dive and mastery of mana, along with Asta in his black form and unshakable determination.
I love this fight too, man. But this fight is not better than the JJK fight, and it's not better than the Demon Slayer fight, bro. It just isn't.
It's fast, it's furious, and just another reason why this series stands tall as one of Shonen's best.
Number 12, Gintoki vs Takasugi. Gintama.
When odd jobs Gin fall out with one another, it's hilarious. When the former students of Yoshida...
I think the problem that I'm having now is like, every time I see a new fight, I gotta think that he put this fight over Demon Slayer and JJK. That's what I gotta think every time I see a new one.
The Shoyo fall out, it's a literal bloodbath. With the life of the Shogun hanging in the balance, the White Demon and the Black Beast let their inner savages out of the bag and proceed to nearly tear each other apart with their signature weapons. You haven't seen punishment until you watch Gintoki take a broken blade to the shoulder while simultaneously slashing with enough force to
they're in order. He's literally listing them out.
break Takasugi's
He's listing them
entire
out.
torso with just a
This is
wooden
his
sword.
order.
Number 11, Atsushi and Akutagawa vs Francis. Bungo Stray Dogs.
Nothing brings hated foes together quite like the threat of a crazy capitalist with superpowers.
君たちは実に似た者同士だ。何？こんなやつと一緒に。
While the Were-Tiger and the Vessel of Rashomon would love nothing more than to rip each other a new asshole, Francis F. in his plan to flatten their city.
But maybe they're not in order. Maybe that would make more sense. If they're not in order, that would make more sense. Because if these are in order, this is an abomination.
Leading them to combine their abilities and let loose one hell of a tag team against the leader of the guild aboard the flying whale fortress that is Moby Dick. Turns out that all the money in the world has got nothing on a defiant orphan with one hell of a fluffy punch.
Number 10, Ichigo vs Ukiura. Bleach.
Sometimes to kill a monster, you've got to become one yourself. In spite of his victory over Grimmjow, Ichigo is woefully unprepared for the likes of the Fourth Espada, and that's even before he accesses his Resurrection.
You will understand.
This is definitely the best fight in Bleach, so I think like this makes sense. This makes sense.
You'd think after getting beaten within a blink, as well as a gaping hole blasted into his chest, that would be the end of the strawberry. At least until Orahime's desperate cries and his own inner hollow bring him back. Now taking on a much more fearsome guise, with little room for anything other than destruction. It's a comeback that's so devastating that you almost feel sorry for the Batman as he gets wrecked.
Number 9, All Might vs All for One. My Hero Academia.
Ever wondered what it would look like if the OGs of the Silver Age of heroes and villains clashed?
Yeah, this can't be in order.
Something like this. Stepping out of the shadows, the mastermind behind the League of Villains
doesn't it like? Do you not think like most of the worst ones were at the beginning? That's what makes me think it's in order. Like the unknown ones that we didn't know about were all at the beginning in the 20s. And now that we're getting closer to the 1s and 2s, these are all fights that we know.
It all in a rematch.
That's why I
with
think
the
it's in
Symbol of
order.
Peace, pitting the dying embers of One for All against an accumulated arsenal of stolen quirks. Pulse-pounding and inspirational, watching All Might push himself beyond his limits and nail his nemesis with the United States of Smash remains the pinnacle of this superhero slugfest of a show.
United!
It's a fire fight. This is definitely a top
Number
30
8,
fight though.
Eren vs Jaw and Warhammer Titans. Attack on Titan. We can admit, we take a certain perverse enjoyment out of Eren Yeager transforming
Y'all think
into
this
his
is the
Titan
best
form
Attack on
and
Titan fight?
eating the dude that just declared war on his people. But Willie Tiber's sister Lara,
I don't
the
think so.
Warhammer Titan, and the Jaw
I don't
Titan
like this
Porco
fight.
Galliard are less than enthused and attack the Attack Titan. With some backup from his friends, Eren fights off the two Malian Titans, with the Warhammer's remote-controlled body proving a particularly tough nut to crack. Thankfully, the Jaw Titan proves to be the perfect nutcracker. This fight may not have the speed or creativity of some of AOT's later fights, but in addition to marking the beginning of Eren's villain arc, it's undoubtedly one of the most brutal spectacles in anime. Number 7, Luffy vs Kaido.
Yeah, this is
One
definitely
Piece.
in order, bro.
The future Pirate King's rooftop duel with one of the 4 emperors is a long, drawn-out brawl. Monkey D. Luffy throws every
'Cause we're
form
not
and
gonna see
technique
another
he can at the world's
One Piece
strongest
fight.
creature, even gaining several new ones during
He's
the
not
fight.
gonna put another one in there.
The animation goes to 11 and beyond throughout, and their blows split the heavens themselves, literally. Still, it's Luffy's awakening of Gear 5th that had everyone's eyes popping out of their heads. Again, literally. His newfound silly reality-bending powers managed to mix some of the goofiness of classic One Piece with the hype of its latter half to create a fight unlike any other. Luffy says it himself, this is peak. Number 6, Daiguren vs. Anti-Spiral, Gurren Lagann.
It's a mecha battle of cosmic proportions, one that saw the will of humanity, along with their gargantuan-sized robots, battling an extinction event given form. With Nia in tow, it fell to Simon and the rest of his band of crazy rebels to prevent the Anti-Spiral's single-minded goal of wiping out all life in order to halt the Spiral nemesis, which naturally led to a tussle of epic proportions, in which entire galaxies are used as arenas, and the dreams of all living things rest on the use of a giant drill. It's utter madness, and we love it.
当然だ。人間はそこまで愚かじゃない。
Number 5, Jotaro Kujo vs. Dio, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders.
It took 3 generations of JoJo, a shit ton of stands, and Jotaro's unbridled badassery, but finally the vampiric nemesis of the Joestar bloodline was defeated in the most explosive way possible.
I want to see what the comments of this video are going to say.
Enhanced form and time-stopping power of the world ensured that Jotaro had to go through a whole lot of crap. He and Star Platinum still emerged the victor, all thanks to a combination of some last-second time manipulation, as well as a punch that encompassed a whole family's worth of pissed off. How's that for Muda?
Number 4, Netero vs. Meruem, Hunter x Hunter.
We won't deny Gon punching Pito's face in didn't make for a series highlight, but there's just something otherworldly about the King of Chimera Ants taking on a veteran hunter with one of the most staggering Nen abilities we've ever seen. Desperate to discover his true name, Meruem takes on the full might of Netero and his 99 hands of Bane.
I can't say nothing else.
無慈悲の方向である。
Top 30 anime fights of the century, bro. These are like, this
as
is not
flashy
it.
as it is frantic, just when you've recovered from the sight of seeing the Zero Hands unleashed,
we really got a fight where the guy blew
the
himself
poor
up
man's Rose
in
to
the
cap
top
off
5.
a clash between 2 giants of their species.
積んでいたのだ。
I mean, this is a top
Number
20
3,
anime fight.
Saitama vs.
But
Boros,
top 5, nah.
One Punch Man.
This is a top
There are
5.
few
This is a
things
top
that
5 anime
encapsulate
fight.
Anime hype quite like watching the world's strongest hero tussle it out with a
This
galactic
is cool.
tyrant.
I'm
who
okay
actually
with this
makes him
being at
put in
number
just
3.
a tad bit of effort.
It's a Lee fight.
手応えあっ
I think it's like 5.
どうやら
If I was to
勝
make
敗が
this
見
list.
えてきたな。
Exchanging blows all
5
over
or
a
4.
spaceship, melting everything they come into contact with, kicking Saitama into the moon, nearly eradicating the planet in a single blast, Boros was truly a cut above the rest.
方正方向
Of course, like everything else in life, not even his unrestricted form could measure up against Saitama's fist. Though in this instance, he certainly upped his game, courtesy of the serious punch.
必殺マジシリーズマジ殴り
Number 2, Naruto and Sasuke vs. Momoshiki, Boruto, Naruto
Yeah,
Next
this
Generation.
is top 3 anime fight. This is
教えて
it.
やろうぜ
This is elite fight.
Just goes to show
This
that
is
things
the
do
best.
indeed get
I don't
better
know
with
if it's the
age,
best.
and that
It's either
apparently
it's
applies to
Naruto
Ninja
versus
as well,
Sasuke or
since
this
years
fight
after apparently letting their
for the best
children
fight in
take the
Naruto,
spotlight,
like in the
Shinobi
series.
frenemies Naruto and Sasuke left jaws agape as they teamed
fight
up
is
to
elite.
take down the jutsu demigod that is Momoshiki, with spectacular results.
I don't know if it's better than Naruto versus Sasuke though. Final Valley's like the best fight of all time.
With fluid combat, dynamic teamwork, as well as a mind-boggling demonstration of just how OP these two have become since they put their teenage years behind them, this onslaught of animation might just be the singular reason for you to watch Boruto.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the
He
bell
hasn't
to
put a
get
Dragon Ball
notified
fight
about
on
our
the list yet.
latest
It's about to be a
videos.
Dragon
You
Ball
have the
fight.
option to be notified for
Artist
occasional
and
videos
Goku
or
versus,
all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to
versus,
go into your settings
Jiren.
and switch on
I'm calling it.
notifications. Number 1. Goku vs.
See, this
Jiren.
guy's so predictable.
Dragon Ball
He's so
Super.
predictable.
Harkening back to the glory
Sliss
days
is
of
awful.
DBZ, while simultaneously bringing its iconic battles into the current era, there's a reason why the finale of the Tournament of Power literally broke the internet. It has everything. A killer soundtrack, Goku once again obtaining a new form that puts all others to shame via Ultra Instinct, a blistering fight that
Yeah, he
doesn't
has
let
this
up
at
for
number
a
1,
moment.
man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm taking 17 and Frieza versus Jiren. I mean, no, I'm taking Goku and Frieza over this, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Goku and Frieza versus Jiren over this one.
All before concluding with the unexpected.
Yeah, it's definitely
yet
the
oddly
biggest.
welcome
It's
sight
the
of
biggest
Goku
anime
and
fight.
Frieza teaming up to best the strongest fighter Universe 11 has to offer.
This fight was fucking hyped out the Kazu, bro. The build-up was ridiculous. But not
Is
the
there a
best.
century-defining anime fight we missed? Let us know.
Yeah,
in
you
those
missed a lot
comments
of them.
below.
You missed a lot of them, WatchMojo. Just like, just horrible. Like, just a horrible list. Oh, look at these comments, bro. They must be in here deleting stuff, bro. Like, they must be in here delete. Are we serious? Yeah. Like, please. I never want to see a single person in these comments in my life, bro. I never want to see him, bro. Ever. So you like the video? You'll like this one too. Go ahead and click on that. Yeah. You're still here? So you don't fuck with me? Alright, I'ma just.